The future of One Chicago gets an update ahead of next week's finals. As the One Chicago franchise prepares to sign off for the season next week, NBC has some great news for fans. All three shows will return for the 2025 to 2026 TV season, and NBC is not making any changes regarding the schedule. Fans of Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and Chicago PD will keep enjoying One Chicago Wednesdays come fall. The shows maintain their night and airtime, with Med kicking off the night at 8 p.m., Fire at 9 p.m., and PD closing the night at 10 p.m. ET. This has been a long-running tradition since the franchise became a thing, allowing viewers to experience all three tones of the One Chicago shows. 2 episodes are left in the season, and everything escalates from here on out. On Chicago Med, the threat that has been looming for a while, especially since the Season 10 premiere, finally catches up to the ED. Friction between the hospital's management and employees reaches fever pitch levels, and Sharon S. Apotha-Merkerson is forced to make tough decisions regarding who is needed on the staff. Meanwhile, on Chicago Fire, Pascal, Dermot Mulroney, becomes a huge liability for the firehouse after the car of the man responsible for his wife's death gets in a suspicious accident, and CFD is implicated. Herman, David Agenberg, takes on the biggest challenge of his life as he prepares to take the chief's test. Elsewhere on Chicago PD, the situation worsens as the war between Chief Reed, Sean Hidosi, and Voight, Jason Bay, heats up. The unit decides to remove him from their lives, but they might have underestimated his intelligence and desire to survive. Med, Fire, and PD were some of the lucky shows on NBC after much of the network's scripted roster was scrapped a few days ago. The new NBC schedule features significant changes as sports and reality TV get increased coverage. However, there are some old fan favorites to look forward to and new offerings on the horizon. On Mondays, 2 hours of The Voice begin at 8 p.m. before the second season of Brilliant Minds at 10 p.m. ET. Tuesdays feature more The Voice for 2 hours before Jimmy Fallon's new show, On Brand with Jimmy Fallon, at 10 p.m. ET. Later on, Tuesdays will be all NBA. Wednesdays, as mentioned, remain One Chicago, while Thursdays are Crime Night with Law and Order at 8 p.m., Law and Order, SVU at 9 p.m., and The Hunting Party Season 2 at 10 p.m. ET. The rest of the week is spent on unscripted programming and sports. Keep tuning in to NBC on Wednesdays to catch One Chicago. Stay tuned to Collider for further updates. As the spring finals of Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med loom on the horizon, fans of NBC's juggernaut One Chicago universe are bracing themselves, not just for cliffhangers, but for a seismic shift in what's to come. The network has finally broken its silence ahead of next week's season-ending episodes, and the update is a tantalizing mix of reassurance, mystery, and potential upheaval. For over a decade, One Chicago has woven an intricate web of loyalty, love, and life-or-death decisions across the Windy City's emergency response landscape. But with the current TV climate ever-changing and the 2025 to 2026 season on the horizon, showrunners and network execs are starting to tip their hands. The 3 pillars of One Chicago, still standing but slightly shaken. NBC has confirmed that all 3 series, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and Chicago PD, will return next season. This renewal alone might seem like business as usual, but insiders say it's the how and who behind the scenes that's going to feel different. Chicago Med is set to undergo the most transformation. A new showrunner, Emmy-nominated Alana Jackson, formerly of New Amsterdam, will take the reins after Andrew Schneider and Diane Frolov announced their exit earlier this year. Jackson promises a return to emotionally grounded patient stories, while also hinting at a rebuild of the Med ensemble. A handful of characters may be on their way out, including Dr. Charles Oliver Platt, whose storyline has been reaching a natural conclusion. Sources hint at a powerful farewell arc in next week's finale that could involve a heartbreaking decision involving a longtime patient and a mysterious figure from his past. Meanwhile, Chicago Fire faces uncertainty around several key cast members. Cara Kilmer, Sylvie Brett, already said her goodbye earlier this year, but rumors are swirling that another original cast member may be stepping away. Although NBC hasn't confirmed who, fans are dissecting every promo frame like Zapruder film. Most suspect Eamon Walker, Chief Bowden, could be heading for retirement, or something more tragic. But it's not all exits. We're going back to the Firehouse camaraderie, promises new executive producer Jen Chin, who previewed an emotional surprise reunion that will make fans of the early seasons weep, in a good way. As the sirens begin to fade and the wind whips through the city's streets, a new chapter looms on the horizon for NBC's powerhouse franchise, One Chicago. With the finals of Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med just a week away, devoted fans are bracing themselves, not just for cliffhangers and tearjerkers, but for the sweeping changes hinted at in a newly released update from the show's producers and NBC. For over a decade, One Chicago has been the steady heartbeat of Wednesday night television. It's a universe where heroes wear turnout coats, carry badges, or don scrubs, where the chaos of urban life collides with heart-pounding drama and deep, emotional storytelling. And now, as Season 12 of Fire, Season 9 of Med, and Season 11 of PD near their endpoints, viewers are learning that change is coming, and it's arriving faster than a speeding squad car down Michigan Avenue. A new flame rises in Chicago Fire. First up is Chicago Fire, the show that started it all. As fans prepare for what's being teased as an emotionally explosive finale, showrunner Andre Newman confirmed in the update that Firehouse 51 will be seeing new leadership dynamics and major character transitions. What does that mean exactly? Well, as whispers of Jesse Spencer possibly returning full-time as Matt Casey continue to grow louder, there's a real chance we might see a shakeup in command. Could Casey return to lead Truck 81? With Stella Kidd still reeling from Severide's decision to accept an out-of-state training post, the couple's future is murky at best. Newman teased, someone will have to make a choice between love and duty, and that choice will change the station forever. Adding to the intrigue, a new firefighter is set to join the team in Season 13, rumored to be a rookie with a mysterious past and a connection to a beloved former character. The speculation mill is spinning wildly. Could it be a relative of Otis? A secret sibling of Cruz? One thing is clear. Firehouse 51 is heading into unfamiliar and possibly turbulent territory. Chicago Med, a healing shift. Meanwhile, over at Chicago Med, the winds of change aren't just blowing. They're howling through Gaffney Medical Center. As Dr. Crockett Marcel continues to grieve and recover from recent losses, the update confirms that Dominic Raines will be stepping back from full-time cast duties next season. Executive producer Diane Frolov explained that Crockett's story will continue in a meaningful, albeit more limited, capacity, giving space for new medical voices to emerge. One such voice? A brand new character, a brilliant but controversial trauma surgeon who's shaking up the medical hierarchy. Fans will have to wait until fall to meet her, but sources say she'll challenge Dr. Archer in ways no one else ever has. But not all is somber in Season 10 setup. Dr. Charles will find a renewed sense of purpose after one of the final patients of the season forces him to confront his own past as a therapist. And yes, rumors of Sharon Goodwin retiring are not exaggerated. However, NBC hinted at a full-circle exit that honors Asa Murkerson's incredible run, possibly involving the return of a long-lost staffer. Chicago PD. Intelligence Unit's future at a crossroads. Of all the One Chicago series, perhaps none stands at a more critical narrative crossroads than Chicago PD. The intelligence unit has been cracking under pressure, and Voight's moral compass is once again in question after a season-long arc involving an undercover informant that went tragically wrong. Showrunner Gwen Sagan revealed that next week's finale will be the most personal and haunting of the series to date. "We're taking Voight somewhere we've never taken him before," she said. "Fans will be shocked at how raw and vulnerable he becomes, but the fallout will echo well into season 12.